The businesses that ascend, that generate real leveraged income without burning you out, they're not just strategically smart, they're aligned from the inside out. And that alignment, that's not just a buzzword, that's tangible business rocket fuel. And today I'm going to give you the map and show you exactly why nothing else you've tried has created that ignition for you yet. Welcome back to The Shift. It's a special series here on the Freedom and Ease in Online Business podcast where I walk you through the exact process for going from trading your hours for dollars to building real leveraged income in your online service business. I'm your host, Miriam Castilla, money and business strategist. And this is episode 3. So if you haven't listened to episodes 1 and 2 yet, go back, start from there because this series builds and you're going to want the full foundation. Okay, let's get into it. In the last episode, I made you a promise. I told you there is a map and that once you see it, you're going to wonder why nobody showed you this sooner. So today I'm making good on that promise because in today's episode, I'm going to hand you the complete picture, the full overview, my proven framework and methodology that takes you from trading your hours for dollars to building real leveraged income from the inside out when you've been trying for a while and nothing else has been working. So this is not another strategy to layer on top of everything else. This is not another piece of the puzzle to try and shove into your already overflowing puzzle. This is the framework that makes everything you already have finally come together and ignite. So stay with me because this episode is going to change how you see everything. So, can I tell you what I think has been going on? You've been collecting strategies, frameworks, courses, coaches, methods, freebies, low-ticket offers, and probably more than one signature offer. And honestly, most of it has been really good stuff, like great stuff. But what nobody tells you, and I mean literally nobody, is that eventually you've got to stop. And more is not the answer. Alignment is the answer to moving forward and making it all click. You don't need to keep adding. You need to now stop and get crystal clear on what it is you're actually wanting to build, what lights you up, what serves your best clients brilliantly, and what fits the life and the business you actually want every single day. And then look at what you've got and streamline and put it all together and be really ruthless about it. So I'll give you an analogy that might make you laugh. My gorgeous husband, Martin, discovered that he really loved cooking for me a few years ago, and I finally let him. And he went all in, and it was every spice, every combination, every single time. So, of course, everything started tasting the same. All the flavors were constantly competing. And so I literally started hiding ingredients from him. The curry powder ended up in a Ziploc bag in the back of the pantry with a note inside it that said, "Stop. Are you making a curry? If not, step away." I thought I was being really clever until one day he made chicken schnitzels and I said, "This tastes a bit unusual." And he said, "Guess what the secret ingredients is?" I guessed curry as a joke. Was not a joke. So the point is that when you add too much, the flavors muddy. The result becomes confusing. There's too much complexity instead of streamlined clarity. And your business is the same. You don't need more stuff. You don't need more complexity. You need alignment and the clarity to let what you already have shine. Those things need space. Alignment fuel business growth. That's what we're talking about. That's what creates ignition. And that's exactly what we're going to map out for you today. Now, before I hand you that map, I need to address something. If you've been at this for a while, chances are you've already tried all that external stuff. You know, the strategies, the funnel, the launches, the content plans. And when it felt harder than it needed to, and then you wanted it to, when it didn't click, you probably looked inward and wondered if something was wrong with you. And I'm here to tell you, please write this down. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you. Here's what's actually been happening. In a job, you can carry your old money stories quietly. Any lack mentality passed down from your parents, scarcity that's woven into our culture and language, the money shame from having been given zero financial education, And someone else kind of sets your worth. They also guarantee your income. And the system kind of absorbs it all because you get the regular paycheck. And so that helps you mask a whole lot of the stuff. But the moment that you went into business, the moment you stepped outside that system and said, stuff that, I'm creating my own income, I'm setting my own worth, those patterns, they stopped being hidden and they actually started coming to the surface and running the show. So every time you undercharged, every time you felt guilty sending an invoice, every time money came in and then somehow just disappeared again, that wasn't just bad luck. That's just old programming showing up, doing what it was designed to do back when it was all wired in. So yeah, it's a mindset problem, but it's actually not a mindset problem. What it is, it's an unaddressed business requirement that nobody warned you about because honestly, it's not till you've been in business for a while that you realize mindset and your relationship with money are kind of a big deal. So what really gets me is that every successful business owner out there selling you strategy as the answer, they've done that internal work. You know, maybe not all of them have done it consciously, although I honestly doubt it, but they shifted something. They shifted something inside themselves that allowed those external strategies to land. The strategy is what you see. It's the visible, marketable stuff. It's like, you know, buy my methodology. I'll show you how I do it. I'll give you my ABC 1, 2, 3 process. But all that internal work they did that made it possible, that actually helped it click, that's been hidden. So when the external feels hard, when you're doing everything right and it's still not clicking, it's not because you're broken. It's because you're trying to build alignment-fueled business growth without the internal foundation to actually fuel it. Because you want alignment, you want an aligned business, you know what you want your business to look and feel like, and you also know what income level you want to achieve. And if all of that isn't underpinned by a really healthy relationship with money, you're going to be in trouble. And healing your relationship with money, both the mindset stuff, the energetic stuff, and the practical stuff, in my opinion, it should be mandatory for everyone the moment they register a business name. But no one ever tells you that, except I'm telling you now. So ideally, you want to start from the inside out. And when you do, everything external flows so much more easily because all of those external things, they are a reflection of what's happening inside of you. And your relationship with money is basically the core of it all because it's not really about money. It's about your relationship with your self-worth, how you see yourself, how hard or easy you think success should be, whether you're deserving or not, whether you know enough, all of those things. So even more so than the right sequence of doing things, and there is an ideal sequence that I prefer to work through, what's most important is that you integrate both sides of it. So let me give you the map. The effectology method is what I call my proven proprietary framework for achieving this integration, the process of bringing it all together, working from the inside out, in full alignment with who you are and where you actually want to go and what that business that matches it and can deliver it looks like. So it's all based around two cores, two power sources, each kind of whole within itself, but they are also each other's fuel. So core one is the magnetic money code because you are the magnet. And this is kind of your internal core. It really does work from the inside out. And it's very important that you marry the magical with the practical here. When I say the magical, I mean your money mindset, your alignment with abundance. That old story that's been running quietly, the inherited, the cultural, the unquestioned stuff, all that old programming that's been making financial decisions on your behalf without your permission, the stuff you can no longer hide when you go into business for yourself. And shifting this is what moves you from unconsciously blocking money to genuinely becoming magnetic to it and ready to receive it. And then the practical side of it is your ability to actually manage and take care of your money, your CEO finances, knowing how to pay yourself properly, how to build stability even when you have irregular income, and make your money truly work for you rather than disappear the moment it arrives. Mindset people teach the mindset. Accountants teach spreadsheets, but nobody teaches both as one integrated system, except me, because that's what the magnetic money code does. When you integrate all the pieces of this core, when your inner world stops fighting your outer results, something shifts, something big. Money starts flowing more freely, more frequently, more easily, and it actually stays around. Opportunities show up, and you're finally equipped to actually receive them, receive the money, and know what to do with it. But here's what I kept discovering with my VIPs and Academy members. Sorting that relationship with money, it really creates momentum. And then sometimes their results would still stall in unexpected ways. And of course, the issue is that you still need a vehicle for bringing in that income that's aligned. Because once you've sorted your relationship with money and it's flowing more freely and you're attracting it in regularly and you're ready to receive and you feel confident receiving it and you've got all your systems in place, you still need the right vehicle to bring it in. And that vehicle needs to be optimized and in alignment with what you actually want. And I'm not just talking income, I'm talking the kind of lifestyle, the kind of working hours, the commitment levels, the kind of work you do with your clients, the kind of clients you actually want to work with, and the type of work you do that truly energizes you. I remember I had one member of the Academy who was frustrated beyond belief because her launches just kept getting worse and worse and worse. Like the results kept getting less and less and less, even though she was offering more. And so, it was this incredible deal and she worked so hard to promote it, but every launch just felt heavier and heavier. And when we looked at her offer and we dug into it a little more, it was pretty obvious very, very quickly. She built a great group coaching program, excellent for leverage, but she had included all these personal one-on-one sessions as bonuses for every single person that showed up, every single one. Now, she's a single mum with limited energetic capacity and she's energetically sensitive, and her body already knew what her brain hadn't caught up to yet, that she didn't actually want to deliver everything she'd promised. She thought she needed to add the one-on-one sessions to justify the price point, but nobody bought because every email, every post, every launch conversation was unconsciously saying and laced with the energy of, please don't buy this. So we redesigned the offer. We replaced the one-on-one sessions with something equally valuable for her students and something she was genuinely excited to deliver. And in the end, it was her best launch yet. Same audience, same price point, same woman, basically the same offer, just a completely different energy because the offer was finally aligned with the life she was actually wanting to live. And that's what alignment-fueled business growth is all about. So that is the second core. I call it the aligned business blueprint because your business is the channel that allows the money to flow. And once again, it's about magical and practical. The magical is your values and vision. And I'm talking about your core values, your deep unconscious core values, the ones that you might not even be fully aware of you value. And the ideal lifestyle that you're wanting to create. The income and the life you're building, working hours, your commitment levels, the clients you love, the work that fires you up. This is kind of the design brief for everything else. And then you step into the practical side of it, that aligned strategy. What does that actually look like in practice? What is that streamlined funnel? What is your unique leverage model that's perfect for you? Built to deliver not just the income, but the actual outcome of the life you've decided that you desire and you're allowed to have, and that is deeply aligned and exciting to you. So when both sides of this core, that aligned business blueprint core, when they integrate, vision and strategy working as one, then your business stops feeling like you're putting on a performance and it just becomes this beautiful aligned expression of who you truly are. And this is why I've always taken my VIPs through the entire process, the entire effectology method, not just the money work, not just the business strategy, but both pieces of the puzzle, both cores fully integrated. Because without one, the other can only get you so far. And it's also why I now teach that complete framework inside the Freedom and Ease Business Academy. Because when both cores align, when your inner world and your business are pointing in the same direction, fueled by the same values, designed for the same destination, deeply aligned, that's your ignition point, because the strategy matches the identity. The business matches the lifestyle. The internal and the external can click into place, momentum builds, and your business ascends to that next level of leverage. Not through more hustle, not through grinding, but through alignment-fueled business growth. The elegant power of everything finally working as one. Effectively integrating. And if you want to see this visually, I've done my best to describe it, but there is a visual model on the blog and I'll pop the link for you below. So let's just do a little recap of some key takeaways that I want you to remember from today's conversation. First of all, alignment-fueled business growth is the difference between a business that ascends and one that just keeps on spinning. More strategies are not the answer. Alignment from the inside out is what creates ignition. The internal work, it's not optional. It's part of your business infrastructure. In a job, the system can absorb those old money stories and they can stay in hiding. But in business, they will run amok unchecked if you don't sort that stuff out. It's not a mindset problem. It's actually a business requirement that nobody warned you about. So the effectology method is that proven framework for achieving this integration, the process of bringing both of those cores, those power cores that fuel your business, into full alignment. Core one is the magnetic money code. It's all about you being the magnet. It's about that magical and practical integration inside of you, your money confidence matching your money mindset, matching your energetic alignment so that you can attract the money in, make it easy, help it stick around to grow and multiply. And then the second core, that's all about having your aligned business blueprint, because your business is the vehicle. And once again, there is the magical and the practical. There is the design based on your core values and the lifestyle that lights you up and truly feels right for you. And then there's the practical execution of that. The integration is the recipe that combines all of those ingredients into the perfect balanced meal for you. And the effectology method is how you make sure that you get that recipe exactly right. Because when those cores come together and when you get ignition, your business ascends. Now, as I mentioned all the way back in episode 1, before you can build leverage, there is one thing you're going to need above all else, and that is the right people finding you. And a fair few of them. A lot of them, really. You need traffic, but not just any traffic. You're going to need aligned traffic, the right people, because misaligned traffic is going to be a waste of time, money, and energy and make everything feel like it's not working when really it's just the wrong people walking through the door. So I created the freebie fix to help you with that. It's your first best move. It's free, it's practical, and it's a great place for you to get started. So the link for that is in the show notes below. And in episode 4, before we dive more deeply into each of the cores that I've just outlined, so don't worry, I'm going to give you more granular information and breakdown of everything. But before we get into that, in the next episode, I'm actually going to just press pause for a moment and give you my hottest tip that will help you create a true buffer and some breathing space so that you can then actually move through this integration process without the pressure of having to hustle for income at the same time, because that's where a lot of people get undone, right? So nothing derails alignment-fueled business growth faster than building it from a place of financial panic, and we don't want that for you. So don't miss the next episode, because we're going to talk about how to create that real buffer and breathing space so that you can get done what you need to get done. And I can't wait to see you then. Bye for now.